Yes, Prabhu.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुमीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्ता स्वामिन्निति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधार शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता राधा कांता नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारणं। परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवं परमानन्दमाधवम्। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय, ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna, welcome to our Sunday morning Bhagavatam reading. Thank you very much for joining this call. So, as you all know, Bhagavatam reading early morning, or in other words, starting a day with reading of the Bhagavatam, how potent it is. So, Prabhupada has very nicely given this process how being in the society, doing all the things even others are doing similar to what they are doing, we are doing, but yet how to have the right Krishna conscious. That is what Prabhupada has given us, the right process, the correct process. There is nothing, no need of inventing any new thing, new process for this. The Prabhupada has given. Okay, so after offering our obeisances, prayers to the our Guru Parampara and the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Panchatattva and to the Supreme Lord and Mother Radha Devi, we are endeavoring to read Bhagavatam. Today we are reading a fourth canto, fourth chapter, 22nd and 23rd um, slokas or verses. So, this particular chapter, as you know, the last third and fourth, it is about Sati. So, this particular chapter is titled as Sati quits her body. And these two slokas are very, very important in my opinion. But before we have discussion, let's read a verse and Prabhupada translation and purport. Okay, here we go. नैतेन देहेन हरे कृतागसो देहोद्भावेनालम् अलं कुञ्जन्मना वृथा मामाभूत कुञ्जना prasangatas taj janma dig yo mahatam avadhyakrit. Synonyms meaning, word to word meaning: na, not; etena, by this; dehena, by the body; hare, to Lord Shiva; krita agas, agas, having committed offenses; deha, udbhavena, produce from your body; alam, alam, enough, enough; ku janmana, with with a contemptible birth; vridha, shame; mama, my; abhut, was; kuta, kujanma prasangataha, from a relationship with a bad person; tad janma, that birth; dik, shameful; yaha, who; mahatam, of the great personalities; avadhyakrit, an offender. Translation: You are an offender at the lotus feet of Lord Shiva, and unfortunately, I have a body produced from yours. I am very much ashamed of your bodily relationship, and I condemn myself because my body is contaminated by a relationship with a person who is an offender at the lotus feet of the greatest personality. Purport by His Divine Grace Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Lord Shiva is the greatest of all devotees of Lord Vishnu. It is stated, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu. Shambhu, the Lord Shiva, is the greatest of all devotees of Lord Vishnu. In the previous verses, Sati has described that Lord Shiva is always in a transcendental position because he is situated in pure Vasudeva. Vasudeva is that state from which Krishna Vasudeva is born. So, Lord Shiva is the greatest devotee of Lord Krishna. And Sati behavior is exemplary because no one should tolerate blasphemy against Lord Vishnu or his devotees. Sati is aggrieved not for her personal association with Lord Shiva, but because her body is related with that of Daksha, who is an offender at the Lord Shiva's lotus feet. She feels herself to be condemned because of the body given by her father Daksha. Okay, let's read that 23 also. गोत्रं त्वदीयं भगवान् वृषाध्वजो दाक्षायति आह यदा सुधुर्मानः व्यपेत नर्मस्मितम् आसु तदाहं व्युत्स्राक्ष एतत् कुनापं त्वद् अंगजम. Synonyms: Gotram, family relationship; Twadiyam, you; Bhagavan, the possessor of all opulences; Vrasvadvajaha, Lord Shiva; Dak, Lord Shiva; Dakshayini, the daughter of Daksha; Iti, thus; Aha, call; Yadha, when; Sudhurmanaha, very morose; Vyapeta, disappear; Narmasmitam, my jolliness and smile; Asu, immediately; Tada, then; Aham, I; Vyutsrakshe, I shall give up; Etad, this body; Kunapam, dead body; Tvat Angajam, produced from your body. Translation by His Divine Grace Vishwaguru Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The word Dakshayini means the daughter of King Daksha. Sometimes, when there was relaxed conversation between husband and wife, Lord Shiva used to call Sati the daughter of King Daksha. And because this very word reminded her about her family relationship with King Daksha, she at once became ashamed because Daksha was an incarnation of all offenses. Daksha was the embodiment of envy, for he unnecessarily blasphemed a great personality, Lord Shiva. Simply upon hearing the word Dakshayini, she felt afflicted because of reference to the context, because her body was symbol of all offenses with which Daksha was endowed. Since her body was constantly a source of unhappiness, she decided to give up. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for joining today's Bhagavatam reading. So let's deep dive into this one. So when I looked at both these verses, I felt these are very important message um, the Vyasadev and as well as Srila Prabhupada was giving in his purport very beautifully. He emphasizes the very fact that which we should be very cognizant and conscious not to perform that aparadh. So let's try to. What is that aparadh? That aparadh is nothing but Vaishnava aparadh. So if I have to progress, even what degree of faith I have in Krishna, what degree of practice I am doing, besides that, my progress on single one thing is dependent on Vaishnava aparadh. Now, let us see how this Vaishnava aparadh is very important not to commit. So here, Sati, this particular chapter is about Sati and Daksha Yajna and then Sati and performing. So in our last reading, we have elaborately saw how the whole history, how Sati happened to go in spite of Lord Shiva advising her not to go. But in that context, we discussed how the relationships are very vital in our life because we are particularly in Grihastha life. We can't just renounce the relationships. The one of the challenge and one of the advantage in both sense relationships are very important. So we highlighted a relationship, but that so-called relationship itself is becoming a sore or an unhappy unpleasant aspects for mother Sati. So we all know that in the previous readings we read that how Daksha from the beginning has enviousness and he was not happy with Lord Shiva being his son-in-law for whatever reasons. He didn't like his attire, he didn't like because Daksha is a very opulent personality. Being a king, he has opulence, but whereas Lord Shiva is roaming in the graveyards with smearing the ash on his body, snake on his around his neck. So that is an attire. Not necessarily all the people will like it. But what Daksha missed is what is the position of this Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva is the Vaishnavanam Yathan. Vaishnavanam Yata Shambhu. He is the greatest or the topmost devotee of the Lord Vishnu. Thus, that aspect he consciously or unconsciously did not realize. And then he offended, and even though he didn't want to be his father-in-law, but Sati was right from the childhood she wanted Lord Shiva as her husband. So with the intervention of the Brahmaji, the whole marriage happened. So now he forcefully had to accept that relationship, but still that uh, poison pill that he had in his heart spilled out when he was performing the yajna. So he started blaspheming. So that whole story I just briefly mentioned so that we all have that background. Now later Lord Shiva came back to his abode, and in the conversation, the often Lord Shiva referred her as Dakshayini, meaning the daughter of the Daksha. So that is very nice on the Lord Shiva's part also, right? Often in our society, maybe not all the men, they want, some of the men, they want their wives to remember the roots of her. I mean, not that doesn't happen. Most of the times they are very bonded with their maternal side, but that reminding her that yes, you are Dakshayani. But after that past time, when the Daksha Daksha was blasphemed Lord Shiva, that was a very, very no acceptance from Sati. She knows that her father doesn't like or doesn't want to be in relationship with Lord Shiva, but yet the dignity should have been that he should be respecting him. At least basic respect should be there, but that didn't happen. So when Lord Shiva addressed her as Dakshayini, she was very whatever that pleasantness was there in conversation, that gone. So now she decided to give up her body. Why? Because Daksha committed offenses against the Vaishnava. So here the Sati Devi is not addressing as an husband. Oh, he blasphemed my husband. That is the reason I want to give body. No, she says he's the greatest Vaishnava. So how can you blaspheme? So that is very, very important lesson. Now, Mother Sati establishes a very outstanding standard or the baseline for a devotee to what extent they can go, isn't it? Often we hear also, right, in our sangha, wherever people are there, some prajalpa goes on. So there are multi lessons that I can learn from these two verses. One is when in the congregation or in any sangha, when there is a blasphemy is going, it is better for us either educate the audience not to perform that activities or simply quit that place. Because if there is anything, I'm not saying that here if we should not have a difference of opinions. Yes, we are human beings, we are bound to have the difference of opinions. Okay, anyway, we'll discuss that at the end, the lessons learned. There is another similar pastime that we can see. What is that pastime? It is Indra. Indra, when one time he was in his sabha, in his whatever that meeting is happening, at that time he was uh, uh, at that time, same time, his guru his guru also comes to this meeting, and because of he proud of his power and opulence, he ignored him to. First of all, he ignored him his arrival, and on top of that, he did not offer obeisances, and then he did not even ask him to be shown him a proper place to be seated. So then the guru immediately leaves the place. His guru is nothing but a Brihaspati, right? So he leaves that place, and after that, we can see how the downfall happened. All the devatas were subject to severe. They were defeated by the demons, and then whatnot. They lost everything. So the consequences are very dire. One is any Vaishnava, including Guru Maharaj, when we perform our blasphemy against any Vaishnava, the consequences are very dire. Now, there are different dire situations, different, uh, what do you call, consequences we can see. So that is, it happened to the Devaraj Indra himself. So that is, and see one more thing, we can see the other side of the coin, demons. We always have a, of course, demons are always, they are not, they are in one sense, they can say they don't believe in the supremacy of the Lord, or they don't recognize the Supreme Lord. So they are kind of that kind of people. They are always worth of receiving condemnation. But yet there is one lesson that we can also see. When in the same situation, demons are very respectful to their guru, who is Shukracharya. And Shukracharya, because of that so-called the respect for guru is uplifted. They got whatever, they strengthened their power, and then they easily defeated devatas. So you look at a contrast when a devotee and a non-devotee. A devotee who is in complete understanding, he neglects or he doesn't respect the Vaishnava, and a demon who doesn't acknowledge or he doesn't have this understanding, he respects the guru. So the one who respects is empowered. One who, knowing in spite of everything, he doesn't respect or offer obeisances, that puts a totally different outcome. So this is a very important lesson for me. See, it doesn't matter what is my situation, what stage I am, how much I know, but this is one thing I have to safeguard. So that is a lesson from this pastime. And then there is another very interesting pastime within our sampradaya, in our Guru Parampara or in our disciplic succession. So this is about this particular pastime provides a very beautiful counter argument and counter approach. What is that? Now we know Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So in those days, there was a Pandit. He was going all over the nation, all over Bharatavarsha, and his goal is very subject matter expert. What we call is SME, right? So and he goes around and then yeah, challenges or invites other pandits to have a competition with him. And what is the condition? If they defeat him, or he if he defeats, then he will surrender. He will give a written statement that he was defeated and he accepts the supremacy of the other side. And the same thing he expects. Very nice. Throughout the Bharatavarsha, he was going around, and very easily he conquered all the debates, and he received all those written statements about their concede in the debate, and then they are acknowledging the supremacy of him in the written form. So same, he comes to he heard about Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, and he wanted to challenge the devotees. And then he comes, and then he expresses his desire, and he demands or he invites for the debate, and puts he reveals those conditions that at the end of the debate, whoever wins, they should be given that written statement. Then, when Sanatan Goswami and Rupa Goswami heard about that, and they immediately gave the written statement that they are conceding the debate and they accept his supremacy without any thinking right away. Then comes he was very happy that even without a debate itself, they considered, and he boastifying that everybody that look at that, even without even debate, they are scared about my expertise. So somehow this whole uh, activities was learned by Jiva Goswami. Jiva Goswami, in a relationship, though nephew, but he is also the disciple of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. So he says, how is it possible? He knows what is the capability of Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami. They are beyond the whatever this grammar and vyakaran. They are much more than that. They are devotees, and they nobody can, in fact, can defeat. Then he says, okay, how? He couldn't tolerate. What is he couldn't tolerate the Vaishnava aparadh done by the Pandit. So he says, okay, he invites them. He sends a message that, okay, I'm willing to debate with you. And then this Pandit was very happy, okay, because he is very puffed up with his knowledge, and he is confident in one sense. So he was very happy. Then the debate takes place between them, and Jiva Goswami, without with how we say, how very easily he defeats. And then the Pandit was so ashamed, and he apologized, Jiva Goswami, that I had committed this aparadh against the great devotees of the Lord, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami. So look at this. In the same pastime, there are two devotees, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, who are, why they are without debating, they are accepting the defeat and giving him the verdict that is supreme. They are, why they are? See, the devotees, they are not in mundane uh, acknowledgements or mundane glorification by somebody. They are totally absorbed in the Krishna Katha, in that Krishna conscious. Their single point vyavasayatmika goal is attaining the or remembering the Supreme Lord. When you are in the topmost bhava, when you are in that aim of getting the ultimate thing in our life, then everything is useless. It is like a, in one sense, it is like a trash. So they don't want to waste their time because they are very cognizant of their time on what it should be. That is the reason they said, no problem. If you want to be become, if other says we are inferior to you, no problem. See, devotee doesn't take that as a pride or something that he need to have. So that is a lesson I learned from this Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami in our life. In when we go to work, see, these are standards that our acharyas have established. But then, how do I cultivate that habit? So at workplace, a lot of times we all know that the so-called politics takes place, career growth is there, we want recognition, all these things will be there. And sometimes when it happens in our favor as we wish, we'll be very happy. But when it goes against our intentions, our expectations, it will be morose, and then we lose our peace. So cultivating this habit based on our acharyas. See, when Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami can do that, who am I? I'm very insignificant. What my achievement? Nothing. It's in nothing. My achievements are nothing. Whatever this academic knowledge, whatever I am, wherever I am, whatever I am, it is insignificant. So why should be I puffed up? So if I develop, if somebody says you are nothing, so be it. Take it as I should be taking it very easy, and that will preserve what? That will preserve the peace in me. So that is a lesson number one from this pastime. And then second thing is, what is then if Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami did that, then is it what Jiva Goswami did is quite opposite what they did. He didn't take it a waste of time or that thing. He said, no. How can somebody can perform aparadh against my own gurus? That he did not tolerate. So Jiva Goswami said, no, no matter whatever it is, I will prove to the world that Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami are not ordinary personalities. In fact, they are much, 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 much superior to this grammar Pandit. So look at that. Jiva Goswami challenged him and defeated. So he established the supremacy clearly to the society. Now, when two acharyas are taking a different position, it is very interesting for us. Now, Jiva Goswami, did he do for his personal glorification? No, not at all. But when it is not personal, then it is the higher standard is establishing. When the Vaishnava aparadh is committed by that Pandit, he didn't want to he want to prove to the world, because at the same time, let's say if Jiva Goswami let it go like that, then the world, the society would have accepted that yes, Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami are not competent. That's the reason before even debating they gave up that version will be there. So it is the obligation and position of a disciple to make sure that the reputation of the Vaishnava or Guru is established properly. So that is a lesson Jiva Goswami want to give it to the society. So both in this particular pastime, both are right. Rupa Goswami and Sanatan Goswami, from the looking at from the very purpose of this life, they don't want to waste time, they just gave up. That is also lesson for me. And then Jiva Goswami, whatever he has performed, that is also very, it is very, it is a lesson for me, because wherever in society, if it happens, there is a blasphemy against the Guru Parampara, against Vaishnava, we should tactfully act on that one. So either depending on the situations, the debate, just go with the debate. It's a we should prove the world, yes, devotees are not ordinary people, not for personal glorification, but to establish Vaishnava supremacy over anything and everything. That is very, very important. And then, and if, see, we are also in society, right? We don't want to get into conflicts. But at the same time, when there in a discussion happens, we certainly mention that establish that supremacy. If some people are keep on going arguing for them, modaha modaha. So there is no point in educating them or revealing them. But there are souls out of unknowingness they commit these aparadhas. So this is very important lesson. These two lessons are very important, right? So in we have seen Indra and Brihaspati pastime, where the how the life or the consequences were very dire for ignoring the Vaishnava. And then another pastime also we know, right? This is very Ambarish Maharaj and Durvasa. Both are devotees. Ambarish Maharaj is a devotee and Durvasa also is a devotee. But out of ego, Durvasa Muni, you all know the pastime, right? So when Ambarish Maharaj, one time Durvasa Muni was visiting Ambarish Maharaj, and that day it so happened Ekadasi, and it was the next day they visited his courtyard, and Ambarish Maharaj very nicely received Durvasa, and then. He offered that he invited to have prasadam. So then Durvasa Muni goes for a bath, right? Along with his disciples. And then we have this rule, right? The timing of breaking the Ekadashi is meticulous. In order to gain the benefit of that punya or Ekadashi Vrata, you have to break the Ekadashi Vrata in that time. So it was getting late, and because in those days it is the honor, it is a respect that without your guest, you won't have or you won't honor the prasadam. So it was getting late, so he consults his uh, priest, and they say, okay, so since it is getting late, just have a sip of achaman, one meaning sip the water. Sip. That is equivalent to breaking this. So he does that one. Then Durvasa Muni comes, and he, with his divine power, he understands that the Ambarish Maharaj had a sip, and he becomes very agitated. And then he throws He creates a demon to kill the Ambarish Maharaj. Look at this. Pastimes reveal us so much less depth of how this ego also overcomes anything. Is it worth just for that? Let's say it is aparadh only. Even for that, is the death is the punishment? Is it in what standard? Even mundane, our material standard also, it is not even worth thinking of going to that forward, going to that extent, killing the Ambarish Maharaj, right? So, but Durvasa lost his conscious, and out of ego, he, how can you do that? His position is, I'm exalted person. How can you have I mean, how can you break your ekadashi, or how can you have water without me? That is very, very low standard established by the Durvasa Muni. And then, then immediately what happened? The Sudarshan Chakra comes to protect Ambarish Maharaj, and it is after that, after the Durvasa Muni. Then Durvasa Muni was running all over the universe, and he went to Brahmaji. Brahmaji said, "Sorry, I cannot do anything. It is Lord Vishnu's astra, and I can't go in it against the desire of the Lord Vishnu." And he goes to Kailash Parvat. Lord Shiva also says something same on the same thing. I can't do anything, Maharshi. I can't do anything. Then finally he decides, okay, it is only the Lord Vishnu can. And then he goes to the Lord Vishnu. And Lord Vishnu, he begs, glorifies and begs, Lord Vishnu, please save me from this Sudarshan Chakra. Then Lord Vishnu also cannot say anything. He says, "No, I am bound by my devotees' welfare, and I cannot do anything. You can go and request my devotee Ambarish Maharaj itself." So then he goes to Ambarish Maharaj and begs, and before even begging, Ambarish Maharaj just prays to the Sudarshan Chakra, and it disappears. Look at that. How this personality, Durvasa, for a such a tiny, I don't know, is there any word appropriate, right word to express that? Such a menial thing, and that too he did what for what? As a process for the breaking the Ekadashi. There shouldn't be anything, but he took Durvasa out of his proud, egoistic mentality. He went to the extent of killing him. What a drastic step, right? He should be taught lesson. So now that is the number one lesson from this. For in our life also, we should I should learn to ignore small, not small, everything, as long as it is Vaishnava aparadh, as long as it is blaspheming my aradhya daiva. Other than that, nothing in this world is worth of taking it serious and spoiling my peace. That's the number one lesson. And number two, we have to have the faith in the Lord. See, the Lord is the our ultimate protector. See, there is nobody in this world is our protector. See, our family members. See, the bodily pain, the psychological pains that I go through, they may be externally help, but internally that is something that I have to do. But that internal strength, as the Lord Himself resides in the everybody as Paramatma, He gives the strength. So I have to have faith that no matter whatever happens in my life, the Lord is going to take care. Of course, whether the Lord is what is the Praman, right? In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Mamaivamsho Jiva Lokaha. So we are all part and parcel of Him. So when we are part and parcel of Him, He is obviously going to take care. He is taking care means He is taking care His own parcel. So that faith we should have, and I should have, and I should develop that one. So how can I develop that faith? Continuous sada smaranam. And how can I smaran? How can I be in the consciousness of the Supreme Lord all the time? By hearing, by reading the scriptures every day. That will nourishes me. That how we pour water to the plant, similarly these readings and Vaishnava Sangha is the nourishment for this Bhakti Lata. So every day we should have at least 5 minutes a page, that we have to make it. I should make it mandate. So having that, I will develop the faith. Now that is the faith is the second lesson in this pastime. And third thing is the Lord is always protects. And then Ambarish Maharaj, look at that. Ambarish Maharaj, Durvasa Muni tried to kill Ambarish Maharaj, but yet he immediately begged Sudarshan Chakra to relieve him from that pain. So the devotees are very, very soft in nature. They are very soft. They don't develop any egoism or any harshness towards any jiva, because their philosophy and practice are goes in hand, because we all know that we are all part and parcel of Krishna. Then why the ego and animosity or any judgmental towards any other jiva? So immediately, without even saying anything, he forgives that. So these are the three lessons that I learned from this Ambarish Maharaj and Durvas Muni pastime. So these are very important. Now coming to, so we have seen Indra and Brihaspati's pastime, and then when we have seen Jiva Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Jiva Goswami, and the Graman Pandit pastime. And third thing we have seen Ambarish Maharaj and then Durvasa Muni pastime. In all these, Vaishnava aparadh is very very. See, in the case of Ambarish Maharaj, when Durvasa Muni committed this heinous sin of trying to kill him, the Lord did not forgive that. He said, no, he cannot tolerate, period. So, from all these three lessons, three pastimes, that I learned that Vaishnava aparadh is unforgivable. Now, let us see the current situation. Sati is she's establishing way ahead standard. It is ultimate. She's saying, because now it is such a situation, right? She cannot do anything. Dakshayani, she is the daughter of Daksha. She cannot, by relationship, she can maybe, but she didn't choose to curse him, or she put him in embarrassed situation. She, because in the Sabha, she could have also chastised. And she's Mother Sati. She's very powerful. She could have even killed him probably, but she did not, because she kept that honor also, right? Their parental relationship. So rather, what she said, I myself give up my body. What a great standard. Of course, that we cannot mimic, but the standard that we can see here, Mother Sati establishing Vaishnava Aparadh to give up her body itself because of the relationship. Probably if it is other person with not so intimate close relationship, probably she could have taught the lesson, but she respected. So the lesson is, for me, we have to see in our relationships also, people may not be um, favorable to Krishna conscious. So it is their bad luck, or it is their unfortunate situation that they are not. But it is our greatest fortune that we have that taste. So respecting that relationship is also important. So we don't need to go against and full blown war with them. Just keep it simple. Beg the Lord, pray the Lord to have give them that taste, right? Whatever, I don't know whether I have taste or not, whatever externally I feel that I have the faith in the Lord, that is the blessing of the Lord. That's a mercy of the Lord. Nothing else. It is not my endeavor. Because look at in our society, our neighbors, the whole community, how many people are into the God conscious or Krishna conscious? How many people? Very, very tiny percentage. But then there are, if you broadly look at people who are very conscious of the Supreme Lord, they conduct their life accordingly, and that percentage very minimalistic. And there is another big percentage is they are also they are ritualistic, I mean say. They go to the temple, they perform all these karma kandi activities, they do all these rituals, and because when the pandit says, okay, if you do this, you will be successful, you will be well, become wealthy, you will be prosper in career, you will get good child, good husband, good wife, whatnot. All these the list is unending, but they go with that. But they are on the, probably we can say, on the mode of goodness. And there are people who are totally atheists. They don't even recognize, they don't even acknowledge there is somebody beyond this. There is a supreme creator. They don't, they are मजे में है बोलते हैं ना. See, they are totally engrossed in the materialistic life. They are having fun. They think that, but they are having fun, right? So that way they are. So these three sets, if we look at, the majority is these ritualistic, and then little other, the other percentage of the people are atheists, and the very tiny percentage only the who are God conscious, completely conscious. Now, what I mean, see, if you look at the atheists, they are totally on the mode of ignorance and slash mode of passion. Now, the other sect who are performing rituals for their own material benefit, those people are fall into mode of passion and mode of goodness. They do charity and all that. These two sects are that. But what about devotees? They are also more in the mode of goodness, but they are beyond, right? They are beyond these three modes, because they are in the transcendence, meaning they are in the mode of goodness, but beyond that they also think that the ultimate purpose of the life and this whole they are beyond, they are situated in the conscious of the supreme lord. Those are beyond the mode of goodness. Because what is the praman? I may say anything philosophy, right? But Bhagavad Gita, Lord clearly says, right? Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nistrairgunyo Bhava Arjuna. He says, raise beyond these three modes of nature. So that is what Prabhupada has given us. Look at the beautiful process Prabhupada has given throughout the world. There is nothing beyond this I need to learn, right? So Prabhupada has given this. He's not even promoting the mode of goodness. He's promoting the pure bhakti, and then he is giving that topmost. There is nothing that he is giving to us, giving to me, and I should embrace that. And then Prabhupada is very practical also. He is established all over the world these temples and centers, not for the simply for the sake of ritual worship. No, our ISKCON temples and centers, they are considered as hospitals. The people who are coming there, like me, I'm going there. I'm a deceased patient, and the surgery and whatever the treatment is needed, that in what form, raising my conscience. So he has given this beautiful infrastructure, right? And then he has given the process, the sandwich process every day. Prabhupada said, yes, you start your day, and then you can do this one, right? So that is very, very important for us. So important for me, and I should take advantage, and I should be very thankful, and I should be very grateful to the supreme lord for me bringing in association of the uh, Prabhupada's movement and his disciples and his the devotees. See, that is very good fortune of me. So the rest is taken care. So with this, I will summarize what we have gone, and what the lessons I have learned. So we have this 4.2.22 and 23, where Sati is decided to give up the her body because her father blasphemed, committed aparadh, and so she doesn't want to have any relationship with that source. What a great establishment standard. Now we have seen three pastimes. One is Indra and Brahaspati is Gurudev. So how neglecting and ignoring the respecting the Vaishnava can how what a consequences can have. He lost everything. Devatas lost everything. And second one is Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, and Jiva Goswami. Two lessons here, right? One is how time and these whatever opulence and then whatever self promotion or recognition from others, we should not. I should not be looking forward, and I should use my time very well. And at the same time, when there is a blasphemy is going against my Lord or the devotees, we should be tactfully educate the people that is devastating for their own welfare. The third one is Ambarish Maharaj and then Durvasa Muni. Should develop the faith, complete faith, that the Lord will take care of me all the time and every time. And finally, Samam Bonam, the one simple statement that I should remember that Vaishnava aparadh is very important to recognize that I should not commit such actions. So, and what is a practical point? Whenever I have any difference of opinion, simply approach that Vaishnava and express what you felt. That clarification will take place. And still, if you don't agree with that Vaishnava, simply just ignore that, move on with the life. No, there is no need to be judgmental. We need to guard and never blaspheme about Vaishnavas in with others. So this is one thing. One point is Vaishnava para serious. For a congregation also, it is, in my opinion, very important that if anybody, especially in a team, when we have any uh, when we have any difference of opinions, express directly going to that Vaishnava. Do not spread negativeness about any practicing devotee or anybody in their absence, with others. That is very suicidal, and I should be very cognizant of that, and I should avoid that one. I'm not saying that you should not have difference of opinions. You can have, that is human tendency. Human, not necessarily everybody. If that is the case, there is no variety in this world. The way we all have a difference of opinions, how a particular thing to be implemented, right? So you can have difference of opinion, but that should not lead to blaspheming, spreading negativity about anybody. So these two things I should safeguard. That is, Vaishnava Aparadh is very serious, and do not spread negativity about any Vaishnava with others in their absence. If you want to, in their absence, the best thing is go in private and express. So these are the lessons that I learned from these two verses, which are very important for my own spiritual progress and spiritual journey. Hare Krishna, thank you very much for giving me your time. If you have any comments or any questions or anything, please feel free to say. Okay. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Have a very sublime Krishna conscious Sunday. Thank you very much.